public relations, PR for traditional businesses. Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl Lemon PR. We're a public relations agency based in the UK, USA, as well as Uganda, and serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 12 of 39 days of public relations training, we're here to talk about PR for traditional businesses. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 11 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So look, fundamentally, when it comes to public relations for traditional businesses, I think that much similar to when you're thinking about PR for your startup, it's a case of determining the kinds of publications you'd like to be in. So let's just say as a traditional business that you might be a solicitor's. Okay, so let's just say you're a solicitor's. One of the things is that you need to determine is what kind of PR do you want, and therefore, what is it that you're looking to achieve? So if you're, PR for if you're a traditional business, then it also might mean that you're, for example, a local business. So then what you want to look at is getting local press for your traditional business, and that's going to be a great way to see if you can drum up new clients from the local community. So that's just element one, and we discussed, please refer back to training number 11 for insights into what you can do at a local press level. So that's just the first thing to consider. The next thing to consider with PR for traditional businesses is looking at let me close this out, looking at the expert speaker route. So ultimately, if you're running a PR firm, sorry, if you're running a solicitor's, then you might want to become a expert or spokesperson for example, issues that relate to your area of expertise. So that could be a good approach to take, looking at becoming a spokesperson. So that would mean preparing, for example, your bio. We've talked about the whole bio element. Please refer back for the bio section. Bear with me. Let me find it. Training number 5, building expert bios for your pitches. So that would be what you'd want to consider. And then once you've got the bio, then it's a case of looking at, for example, also local TV as well as national. So local and national and also regional. So LRN, so local and regional would be the places where you'd start. Looking at local and regional, ultimately TV, radio, and news opportunities that relate to your area of expertise where you can become an expert speaker. So that might be something to the extent of, if we're looking at, for example, solicitor, one of the things you could do is again look at solicitor, look at what's happening. Solicitor, so let's have a look at, for example, London Regional News Law as an example, right? Regional staff treated as second class by London. So we've got the Law Gazette, we've got law.com, we've got the Lawyer, we've got Legal Business, Legal Cheek. There's sections on BBC, News, Capital Law. So can you already see that we're beginning to build up our list of publications that seem local and relevant? And then you could use the thesaurus method to look at synonyms of law to build up your word cloud, and then start looking at London regional news, London regional, for different words related to law, London regional TV law. So let's have a look at that. So review of regional TV production and programming, but we can have a look at regional, the ITV regional news broadcast, latest news from London South East, ITV, all you need to know about politics. So just have a look at London regional. Let's have a look at London regional TV news. Let's have a look at it as an example. BBC One, London, ITV. We've got Des and Mick. That's BBC South East. But you can begin again to build up a selection here, and then again you can do the same thing, for example, for podcasts, and all of a sudden, just by running some Google searches, you can begin to build up your collection of places where you potentially want to explore the idea of becoming a regional speaker. So I'd say that these would be the things that you definitely want to consider. I would go with local plus regional as spaces that would make sense for your business to become ultimately a spokesperson in those areas. And you want to look at uh, newspapers, and you want to look at TV, and you want to look at radio, and these would be strong areas of insight, or strong areas of opportunity when it comes to seeing what you can do to become a regular expert spokesperson at a local as well as regional level, and covering the formats that we discussed, right? And the formats that we discussed were, please refer back to, for example, training number 3 as well as 4, in terms of thinking about the types of formats that you'd like to appear on. And that's going to really determine also the way that you look at your PR for your traditional business. So there you have it, guys. Traditional business public relations strategies.